Once again, students, we have another subtopic under algebra that we are going to be looking at here, which is algebra fraction. So we can call it algebraic fraction. We have our interactive content here that will serve as guide. Now, when you're talking about algebraic fraction, we are dealing with fractions that has an unknown, and we have a numerator and denominator, which we actually know that fractions actually contains a numerator, which is the top number, and denominator, which is the bottom number. Now, once factorized, numerical expression can be evaluated. We have an example here, just an illustration to show how we can go about when we are dealing with factorization under algebraic fraction. So before we go further, now let's look at an example here. We have 13 square minus 7 square. So if you want to do that, how can we go about it? What we need to do is that we split the two in the question rather into two different values, that by the time you multiply together we can have this expression, and by the time we add together we can add this expression. Now let's look at what we have here. If you have 13 times 13, you know that is 13 square, right? Now plus times minus will actually give us what? Minus. Then 7 times 7 will give us the 7 square that we are looking for. So we can express 13 square minus 7 square as this. Now having doing that, then 13 plus 7 will give us what? 20. So, and we are 13 minus 7 here will give us what? 6. So by the time we have that, 20 times 6 will give us 120, and that gives us the solution to the first one. If you look at the second one too, is the same thing. We are splitting into perfect squares of the given question, which is 6.25 raised to power 2 minus 3.75 raised to power 2. So this one can be splitted into a perfect square of 6.2 plus 3.5 rather plus 3.75, another bracket 6.25 minus 3.75, close the bracket. So by the time we add 6.25 plus 3.75, we have 10, and by the time we subtract 6.25 from 3.75, we have 2, so 2.5. Now by the time we multiply 10 times 2.5, we have 25, and this gives us solution to the problem that we have. Now let's look at another example here. What happens if we want to factorize quadratic expression? We are still going to be looking at quadratic equation as a topic, but now when you're talking about factorization of quadratic expression, it means that you are trying to find the product of values in the bracket. So you are trying to find product of values in the bracket. Now for example, we have 5x plus 6. So if you have to look for this, you find the product and the additions of these values beside the unknown and this. Now we have an example here. We have to factorize x squared plus 5x plus 6. So how are we going to go about that? Look at this question. Under factorization, what we'll do is this: the coefficient of x, not x squared, the coefficient of x, you look at two possible values that by the time you add it together will give you 5, and at the same time you multiply together give 6. So let's look for two possible values that by the time you add together gives 5, and multiply together that gives 6. What values are that? I think that should be plus 2 plus 3, because by the time we add 2 and 3 together it gives 5, and 2 times 3 will give us 6. So that is the value. Now with that, we can now go ahead and solve the question. So let's solve. Now we can re-express this equation now as x raised to power 2. We replace the two values that we've gotten with the coefficient of x. We have plus 2x plus 3x plus 6. Now having doing that, we have looked for the common factor. So let's bring out what we have here. We are covering this and with this with brackets. Look at this and this. What is common to both of them? I believe we have x. So let's bring x out. By the time you bring x out, we have x remaining here, because by the time you multiply x times x, it gives us what? X squared. Plus what do we have left here? 2. 2 times x will give us 2x. Now, what is common to these two that we have here? 3 is common. 3 can go in 3, 3 can go in 6. So we are bringing 3 out. So we have 3x. What we have x left here, then we have 2 left here. How do you have 2 left here? Let's see. 3 times 2 will give us 6 back. Now let's look at this and this. Discover that we have a common number or an expression inside the bracket. So we pick one of it and pick what we have outside the bracket as well. So we have x plus 2 x plus 2 and x plus 3, and that is the solution to the given problem that we have. So we can easily drag the answer to each boxes, and this leads us to the next slide that we have here. Okay, this is an example of algebraic fraction. A fraction whose numerator and denominator consist of algebraic expression. So when you have a fraction and you have your numerator with an unknown value or coefficient of x, y, z and everything, then we call that type of fraction algebraic fraction. So we have example here. If you look at it, we have a coefficient of x. So we have x which is unknown, we have x unknown, and we have 4x plus this. And the same example here, we have an unknown value which is x and x here. So this type of example is an example of algebraic fraction. So let's see how we can solve it. Now, quickly, we have an example here. How can we actually simplify our algebraic fraction? We are going to be simplifying each of these solution. Now, let's look at what we have here. We are going to be taking the first two. The last two, we have the solution already there. So let's quickly solve this and let's see how we can go about that. Okay, now we have 3 over 4 multiplied by 5 over 7. What is 3 times 5? That's 15. Then 4 times 7 is what? 28. So that gives us the answer to the first one. A over B, A divided by B multiplied by C divided by D. Now that's going to be what? A multiplied by C will give us what? AC, and B multiplied by D will give us BD. So this is the answer to the second expression that we have there. Okay, we have addition and subtraction of our fraction. What happens when we are adding up our fractions and when we are subtracting up our fractions? When we have a common denominator, as we said earlier, we pick the denominator and add the numerators. But when we don't have the common denominator, we try as much as possible to look for the LCM. So we are going to be solving A and C. Then the solution for B is actually there. We can solve that by the time we study through together. So addition of let's look at it. 3 over 7 plus 4 over 7. That is what? 3 plus 4 is what? 7. Because we have a common denominator, we have 7. 7 divided by 7 will give us 1. So this place should be 7 over 7. Now let's pick the C part, which is 5 over 7. This is like an example of an algebraic fraction that deals with addition. Plus 7 divided by Z. Now 5 plus 7 will give what? 5 plus 7 is 12. 12 divided by Z, because we have a common denominator, so we can see the solution to the problem we have there. Okay, quickly let's solve this together. Simplify 3 over 5 plus 1 over 5. What's the answer? We have a common denominator, so we are adding the numerator. 3 plus 1 is what? 4. Then we have a common denominator of 5, so the answer should be 4 over 5. Let's check. Fine, we are right. Now let's look at, okay, we have an example here with when we have different denominator. What do we do? As I've said earlier, we are looking for the lowest common multiple. So let's solve. So let's solve this. We have 2. We have 2. Let's solve. We have 2. Okay, let's solve together. We have 2 over 8 plus 3 over 4. What's the common multiple of 8? Let's quickly write. We have 8, we have 16, and we have 24, and like that. Now, common multiples of 4 is what? We have 4, we have 8, we have 16. So if you look at it, we actually have a lowest common multiple of 8 here together. Lowest. That's what we are picking. So we are picking lowest. So we have our new denominator now to be 8. 8 can go in 8 how many times? 1 multiplied by 2. So we have 1 multiplied by 2. How many times can 8 go in 4? That is 2. Then we multiply it by 3. Now 1 multiplied by 2 is what? 2. 2 times 3 is what? 6. So we have plus 6 over 8. So 2 plus 6 is what? 8. 8 divided by 8 will give us 1. So that is the solution to the first exercise that we have there. We have the slide to show us the samples of the other ones. Now, what happens when we have subtraction? We are going to be looking at this, and let's just quickly solve. If you look at it, we have a different denominator. So we are going to be finding the multiples of A and multiple of 2 over A. The question is what? 7 divided by 8 minus 3 divided by 20. 0 divided by 2A rather. So 7 over A minus 3 over 2A. What is the answer to the problem? So we can solve that by finding the multiple of A. Let's write A, we have 2A, we have 3A, 4A, and like that. So for 2A, what do we have? We have 2A, we have 4A, we have 6A, and like that. So if you look at it, the common lowest here is what? 2. So the LCM is going to be what? 2A. Now, how many times can A go into A? That is 2. So we have 2 multiplied by what do we have there? 7 minus, how many times can 2A goes into A? That is 1. So 1 multiplied by 3. Now 2 times 7 is what? 14. 14 minus 3 divided by 2A. What is going to be the answer? That is what? 14 minus 3 is 11 over 2A. So 11 over 2A is our final answer to the question we have there. We have an activities here for us to do. So quickly, what's the meaning of LCM? As I've said, been saying that we are looking for the lowest common multiple. So LCM means lowest common multiple. Now, let's check. Now, if you are to factorize a quadratic equation, it's carried out by writing the expression as a what? A product of two brackets. Product of two brackets. So that gives us the solution to that. Now let's look at the past questions that we have. Yes, we are going to be solving the first one, and the question is the solution will be a bit long looking at the question, but let's take our time. And the second one, the solution is there for us to digest. So let's quickly solve this. So we find the LCM of the numerator and the denominator, x plus 3 over x minus 3 minus x minus 2 over x plus 2. The LCM can actually not be gotten because we have a coefficient and we have a sign between them. So we picked the two of them together as the LCM. So the LCM is x minus 3 and x plus 2. So that's what we are going to be working with. This, let's solve it together. Now let's have it x minus 3 x plus 2. Now x minus 3 can go in x minus 3, right? So we have what left? X plus 3 and x plus 2. Now minus x plus 2 can go in x plus 2. So we have x minus 3 here. So we are going to have x minus 3. Let's close the bracket. X minus 2. So what else are we going to do here? We are going to open this bracket. That is the next thing we are doing. Let's quickly open the bracket. You multiply x with everything that we have here, x plus 2. Multiply 3 with x plus 2. Multiply x with x minus 2. Multiply minus 3 with x minus 2. So we can have this as our answer. It's going to be x squared plus 2x plus 3x plus 6. Remember, we are still putting in the bracket minus x squared minus 3x plus 2x plus 6. So having that, then we have, remember we still have our x here, x minus 3x plus 2. Don't forget that we have minus sign in front of the bracket. So we are opening this second equation here with minus. So by the time you bring the minus, these signs minus that are inside the bracket will change to plus. So let's have what we have there. So this one now, 2x plus 3x will give us what? 5x. So we are opening the bracket and we are expressing together. So we have x squared plus 5x plus 6. Remember, we are opening this. So this one now is going to be minus x squared plus this is going to give us minus 3x minus 2x, that is minus 5x. So by the time we introduce the minus, it changes to plus 5x. Minus times plus will give us minus. So we have minus 6 here. Everything over x minus 3x plus 2. So we have to collect the like times. We are collecting the like times here. Bring x squared together plus 5x plus 5x together plus 6x minus 6x together. So if I've been doing that, we can now have x squared minus x squared plus 5x plus 5x minus 6x plus 6. Everything over the LCM, which is x minus 3x plus 2. So remember, we still have that. Now let's look at it. X square minus x square will give us 0. 5x plus 5x will give us 10. Minus 6 plus 6, that is 0. So our answer is going to be what? 10x over x minus 3 x plus 2. And this is the solution to this first question. We have another one here. Thanks for listening. This takes us to the end of the class. We want you to subscribe to our channel for the full interactive content of this class. Thanks for listening. Our channels is www.edubbey.com. So subscribe and watch the full interactive content of this class.